Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Everybody can hear me, right? Yep. Just had to double check because last time, like, you know, I have problems when it comes to like streaming with my audio, so I had to always double check my audio. So it's the same like last night. Instead of like, you know, instead of me like doing like straight race, going practice again, practice, qualifier, and then race. And it's only one practice session, 3 qualifier sessions, Q1, Q2, and Q3, and then the race, which I believe I put it at 25 laps this time around, so it shouldn't be so bad. Yeah, so it should be good now. Just it's not bad. I like the way I have it right now, which is pretty good. I'm doing like minimum races because, as you guys can see, doing a long race takes time and it's exhausting. And unfortunately, sorry for my viewers, I got to mention that this qualifier, instead of it being like 30 minutes, it's gonna be like 60 minutes of like a full quali session, because when I put it at 25 races, it increases the practice times from 30 minutes to 60 minutes. Because as you guys can see, session length, I put it on long instead of like medium, which brings it up to like 25 laps. And practice sessions, it's 60 minutes a session. So with that being said, I don't know if I have to do anything else here. No, I'm leaving my points like that because I don't want to waste up all my points before I get them up, because I'm only at like the second race, so let it build up for a bit, and then when it builds up a little bit, I'll start upgrading the car. Alright, let's head out on track, guys. Alright, so what I'm gonna do a drive out, because well, actually no, before I do a drive out, let me explain. So what I'm gonna do a race strategy and try to do track. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that word. I might know how to say it, but I'm not gonna butcher it right now because my brain is not braining right now. So what I'm gonna do a race strategy first, and then I'm gonna do this one next. Hopefully they both go smooth. Race strategy usually goes smooth. This one's a bit tricky around this track, but I'm gonna try my best to go smooth with it. So with that being said, we're gonna do it after I do like, let's say 4 laps, and then come in on my 5th lap, and then I'll do it. So with that being said, I'm going to basically do that really quick, and then yeah. So with all that being said, let's head out, and instead of doing a flying lap, I'll do a flying lap for the race strategy, but for this one I'll do a drive out.
Don't push the car just yet. Track is still green. Try to take it easy for the first couple of laps.
Alright, let's do this. So usually right now, just like I said, this is a street track, guys. Of course, you guys never seen me drive on this one before, but same with the first one. Most of you guys never seen me drive on it. So this track it's street track because in real life the track is built with actual roads that people drive on a regular when there's no F1 race happening. I've actually went on Google Maps to actually check out the location of this track, and it's closer to the sea than I thought it would be. Like on this side of the track that I'm on right now, like on my right, it's like right into open water, or close to like a very big body of water, which I don't remember what sea it is, but it's right next to water. I was a bit shocked and surprised it was that close to like water. But yeah, it's a great track, very high speed corners, fast. This is like similar to me driving in Monaco, which you guys will probably see in a few weeks time. Because the next track after this is Australia, so, and then after Australia is China and Japan. And I think Monaco is after that. I'm not. I gotta double check the calendar for last year to actually check. So yeah, that's what's up. So like I said, I'm gonna do 4 laps. Then after the 4, on my 5th lap, I'm gonna go in and then take a small break, maybe a minute to like 2 minutes, and then head back out on track, or even less. Because I still gotta like practice driving on this track. Even though I've driven countless laps on this track, it's still that track I need to actually get some practice on, because it's a lot. Like I said, very high speed, very quick corners. When you're in a race, this track, you can get a lot of mistakes very fast. Especially going through like the hard right and left corners. A lot of accidents can happen, a lot of mistakes can happen through those corners. This is the high speed straight, like the straight, but it goes around like on a little bend. So that was my out lap. So this is my actual lap that I just did. Remember, I did a drive out instead of my lap. So the hospital is at the top of the table because you probably did all lap already when I first lap. But I just finished my first lap, going into the second. Yeah, this car is a bit tricky going on and on. Like, I like the track, but it's not my favorite track. But I do like it. Especially right here, I do not like this part of the track at all. It's like my worst part of the track here. Going down through that corner, that last corner, and then I don't like it very much. This is the only, I believe, one of many tracks I struggle with, like specific corners. But there's a lot of tracks where like I go around every corner perfectly fine, but this one, that one specific corner is like my biggest struggle. But my other struggle was a corner that I passed a little bit back. When I go around from my next one, I'll tell you guys where it is. I had a little bit of struggling going through that corner because, like I said, high speed, very fast. So when I used to go through that corner, I had to like not hit my brakes, but like drive too slow so I don't hit the wall or hit the or crash my car and damage it. It was a bit challenging for me at times. But then over the course of the driving, not just in F1 2024, but in F1 2023, I built up the courage to drive on this track a little bit more than I did in the past. Because God knows how much I didn't like this track when I started racing in F1 2022. So this is a corner that like I always struggle with. For some reason I always struggle with it, I don't know why. And this corner that's coming up right here is basically the corner that like I build my confidence, because it's a hard ride, wide, and then once you get out of the turn, like the hip, and you go right up to the wall. So it's like, before I used to panic, or I was a little bit more stressed about going right on the wall because I didn't want to hit my car and damage my car. but I currently don't drive with damages on, which gives me a little bit more confidence, but also a little bit more discipline when it comes to driving like close to the wall, like I just did right now. I just bumped the wall. If I had my damage on, I probably would have lost maybe a front wing or damaged my front wing. But with the damage off, it helped me like gain confidence on driving on the track a little bit better. Then with damage on, I'll be hella stressed to drive. So it's a bit tricky with this track. So we're headed in our fourth lap right now, so let's do that right now. There's gonna be little bumps here and there, guys. It's a straight track. If you don't bump the wall at least a few times or so, like in certain corners, I don't know what to tell you guys. By the way, welcome to Saudi Arabia, guys. They're gonna introduce this again when I do the race. They're gonna introduce the track and everything. I think they might do a little introduction as well to when I have to start qualifying, which is gonna be in about 15 minutes or so. Because like I said, guys, there's 60 minutes of qualifying. So I might do another lap actually, another few laps, and then I'm gonna come back on and do this because there's a lot of dead space in between like me actually on track, practicing, and actually doing nothing at all. So I might go for another few laps, and then let's go up to about 8 or 9 laps. Because it's also exhausting driving like this for that long, so let's do 6 laps and then pit on 7. We could have initially pitted on this lap. Oops. Yeah, this is the boring part, guys. Even though I'm a little bored talking about it. Alright, I'm gonna shut my mouth for a bit and y'all enjoy the video.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
So basically, guys, we're back in the garage. I'm gonna chill in the garage for a little bit, and then yeah, we're gonna head back out on track in a bit of time. He's driving like that for time. Like there's 15 minutes. Like I said, there's 44 minutes left, about 40 something minutes left of Q3, and as you guys can see, there's 9 cars on track. I prefer to do it when there's less cars on track because it's a bit better that way. Because if I do the race strategy with this much cars on track, it'll be too much traffic and too much brake lockup, so I prefer not to do that. My timer now is at the top of the table for the top fastest car of the session, which is a 132.420, with a sector 1 as a 134.3 62, and sector 2 with a 29.628, and then sector 3 a 28.429, which is almost a few hundredths of a second, like identical to my second sector. So yeah, guys, I'm not gonna try to bore you too much. It's gonna be like this for almost like every video or so. Depends on the track. Depends on the track. There might be a little bit more excitement on track. A little bit more excited in commentary from myself. Depends on what track we're at. With Saudi Arabia, it's a bit more less information. Don't know much, but for sure, guys, when we get to the Montreal Grand Prix, yes, Canada, in this case the Canadian Grand Prix, is on the track. We have a Grand Prix. We have our own track here in Montreal. When I do get to that race, it's gonna be a little bit more exciting. I'm gonna probably talk a little bit about a race that happened here a few weeks, about a month ago or so now. Yeah, the race was in June, around like June 13. Yeah, June 13 to the 15th, I believed. I could be wrong. I don't remember, but it's been a bit of a time. So I'm gonna talk about how exciting our race was and how disappointed I was with some things that happened in that race. And there goes my teammate Max Verstappen in 18. I think this is his first lap, I believe. I could be wrong. That is his... Oh, yeah, that's his first initial lap. Did he cross the line yet? He's about to cross the line soon. This is his first lap. He's doing a... Let me see, my time was 132. He did a 1... Yeah, he's going around slower. He did a 132.29. He might have beat. Yeah, he did. He did a 132.2. He kind of dropped me by 128 of a second. His first sector was 134.4, and then his second sector. Wow, my second sector and his is only off by 800ths of a second. His third sector, he smoked me by a lot. Because he got a 28.173, I got a 28.429, which, wow, okay. That was a very fast lap. Not bad. With that being said, let's see, is he still out or is he coming back in? Yeah, he's still out. So what's gonna happen here is like I said, I'm gonna chill for a little bit when the track kind of cools off a little bit. There's 8 cars out on track still. Alright. I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit of time though. Alright, so hope you guys enjoy watching Max go around on track. He's currently P1 right now for the last practice session. There's 38 minutes left and counting, so yeah, we're gonna go out when the track, I think when it drops around like maybe 4 or 5 cars on track, I'm gonna head out. And as you guys can see from this shot that Max is passing, look how close to the water the track is, guys. When I say it was close to the water, that's what I meant. Like, it's so, not the water on the inside of the track, but on the outside where that boat is. That's how close to the water the track is. I was actually beyond shocked it was that close to water until I googled the real place, and I saw it was that close to water. I was like, wow, I didn't know it was that close. But it's pretty cool. But then again, I can't really talk. Our Montreal Grand Prix is surrounded by an island, so, but I think this water is more for a bigger body of water. I'm not too sure. With that being said, I'm gonna let this run for a little bit and then head out. Get back to you guys in a bit. Alright, I'm back. So, before I head out on track, let me just break down a little bit of what's gonna happen, or what I was saying a little bit earlier. So, basically, so my next race after Saudi Arabia will be Australia. Then after Australia, it will be Japan, then China, then Miami, which is the first American race. Then after Miami, it will be Imola, which is the first Italian race, then Monaco. And then by the 9th race is going to be our home race, my home race, Canada. And then after that, it will be Spain, Austria, and then with the United Kingdom being the 12th race. So that'll be halfway throughout the 24 race season. And then when we get to the 13 race, I'll go through the list of the second 12 races. So with that being said, let's head out on track so we can do the race strategy, and this time I'm gonna do a flying lap instead of a drive out. So enjoy, guys. And yeah, I'm gonna keep my commentary on for this one because there's not really much to really say. Just me driving and doing a race program instead of actually doing something interesting. So
Okay, give us some good, consistent laps, please. We're looking for good data that we can work into a race strategy.
and there is 28 minutes and counting. 28 minutes and counting in time to go for it's over. So I'm gonna try to do 2 of these race strategies. So let's see, I'm gonna finish this one and then hop right back out to do the second one. Alright. Okay, so just join, thanks for joining. Hope you're going to enjoy the stream. This is the last few minutes, well, not last few minutes, the last 27 minutes of practice and then qualifier. If you're just joining, just catching you up a little bit. We're in a practice strategy right now. Just get some information on the car, on track, and also learning the track a little bit more for myself. And for the 2025 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, that Grand Prix was something, man. I was a bit disappointed about how Max Verstappen came in second place. He got a penalty on, I think, the first lap, I believed. I watched the race on F1 TV live. it was a race. It was a race for sure. Oscar Piastri won that race. Honestly, compared to last year, he wasn't like he wasn't the golden boy from Mercedes. Not Mercedes, from McLaren last year. But for this year, he's done a lot more than I'm expecting. He's the kind of driver that is like, when he's out on track, he will show you he's the boss on track, but when he's off track, he's very quiet. He speaks, you know, like how they say when you're, you know, show your words. He don't show his words, he show his work in his driving. He fights on track, he talks on track, he doesn't talk off track like that. When he's off track in interviews, he keep it simple, but on track, he shows who's boss. Reason why he's the only driver on the grid right now with multiple race wins for the beginning of the start of the season. From let's say 2023 till 2021, which is when Max won his first World Driver Championship. Max has been the one that's been winning most of the races for those 3 years, and then 2024 last year he didn't win that much, but he won enough to keep him relevant in the championship to win his 4th drivers championship. But this year Oscar is dominating the tracks right now he is currently he's on the top of the leaderboard for the World Drivers Championship at the moment. So that's good on him. And yeah, but now this year's Grand Prix for this track was something that would get me a little bit upset as a Red Bull fan. It was very disappointing, but we came P2, so it wasn't a bigger loss, but it was still a loss. Alright, so there's about 23 minutes and counting to go, 22 minutes and counting time left to go. So right after I finish this, we're going to head right into the next one, and then for the rest of the video we're going to just let the time just let the time count down, and then right after that we're going to go straight to qualifier and do all 3 qualifiers for the race, and then head right into the race after qualifiers. Alright, last lap for this, and then yeah. By the way guys, the delta time, do you guys see at the top of the corner is not the delta time on my steering wheel, because my delta time on my steering wheel is my actual delta for the car. What you're seeing is for the program that I'm running. That's the delta time for the program.
Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers. Understood. Stopping this lap.
Alright, so for those who are wondering what I just did, basically what I just did, I was on a soft compound. My average lap time is 132.8. Tire wear, I understand a lot of those things at the moment, so it's a bit tricky for me. So some of them, like, I don't understand, but some of them I do understand. If you do understand, let me know in the comments for sure. I'm still learning a lot as I get into this sport. So what we're gonna do right now, there's 16 minutes to go in the session, and then we're gonna head right back out on track to do this, and hopefully it goes well. So let's do another flying lap and head out to do that right now. And this one I'm gonna try to keep it quiet and then give you guys my commentary after I do it or finish it. I'll give you guys my commentary after.
Okay, your goal is to get through as many corner gates as quickly and precisely as possible. Best of luck out there.
Sorry for the brief interruption. There was something with my headphones. Sorry about that. There's going to be another brief interruption, so bear me out for a few seconds. Sorry for the interruption, guys. I am back. I'm going to try to fix that problem after. Hopefully it's better. Here we go. As you guys can see, I didn't pass that one very well because I'm not very good at that corner, especially when I'm doing this. If I got an all purple, I would have done a one lap, but because I missed that one, I have to do all two of them. So if it's red, that means I missed it. If it's green, I did it, but I did it very slow.
DRS zone coming up. Get ready to open it. Distance is on your MFD. Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
You guys are seeing what I'm seeing right now. Basically, the reason why I didn't go all the way to third lap because my second run of it, I had all purple, so there's no need to go to the third lap first lap I got a red on that specific turn that I told you guys about earlier. And then when on my second lap now I got a perfect score, so no need for all 3 laps. And then now I'm gonna head back to the pits and then wait out the 9 minutes and then we're gonna head right into qualifier. So hope you guys are enjoying, and the real action and the real excitement will be coming very shortly in these next 9 minutes to go. So
Okay, the static over the radio. Say it again. Okay, we can take you this lap.
so sorry about that. I want to go back to the garage because I think I pit too late, so kind of had to stop. So my bad, guys. A bit tricky there. So as you guys can see on track, on turn 8 I had a bad one, and then on the second lap, turn 8 I got it perfect. So hope you guys, turn 8 and turn 13 are like my turn. I'll say my biggest nightmare for this track is turn 8, turn 9, and then before that it was like what, turn 16 and 17, or maybe 20 and 22. But the one that I've mastered was turn 13 going into turn 14. But going in from turn 7 to turn 8, it's still a work in progress for me as we speak right now. And with that being said, we're gonna just wait out for the next 3 minutes, and then after that we will just head right into quali. So see you guys in about 7 minutes or so, then quali.
Sadly, it's time to say goodbye as free practice is over. However, we'll be back shortly for more Formula One action. Welcome to Jeddah Corniche, one of the fastest circuits on the calendar, but let's see who will be the fastest of them all. It's time to set the grid for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Yes, it's time for qualifying.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining. Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
Okay, so right now you guys can see like I did a very much improvement lap on my improvement on that, so it's kind of a bit off there for me. So it's a bit tricky for me, man. This lap was very, very, very tricky because on that second push lap I hit the wall really bad. And welcome back, Lucas. Good to see you back. Yeah, had a little bit of a glitcher in my mic. Just fixed it. Yeah, man. So I'm really trying to push the car because this track is very, very, very very, very sticky. It's a very high speed track, and just one small mistake can really mess up your lap entirely. So it's very tricky around here. So yeah, we'll see how it goes for Q2, or how my improvement lap is gonna go for the second part of Q1, which is gonna be closer to the end of Q1. I always make it out of Q1, guys. I always make it to Q3, guys, so I'm not worried about getting dropped in Q1. I'm at the top of the tables. If I stay in the top 10, I'm good. So, but I always stay in the top 5, or in this case P1. So I'm good on that. I'm not really too worried about leaving Q1. So I'm guessing most of the cars are coming in back on that are on track right now. The last car out on track is Fernando Alonso, and there he is. He's heading into the pits, and then we're all gonna chill for about a few minutes until we're or I can head back out on track for the end of Q2. So with that being said, yep, there's a few minutes of chill time and waiting time until that. But so far I'm still at the top of the list with a 130.8, so that's very good. I did it. That was a very good stint, very good first lap. Try to push it for a second lap. I did well on the first two. I did very well in sector 1 and sector 2, and then sector 3 I kind of like hit that wall close going around that turn, and then that was it right there. My lap time dropped, my delta time and lap time dropped, so that was kind of a bad one right there. And yeah, I have crashed before. Like I've done crashes like where I actually went off track, like because I don't have my damage on, so I do bump into the wall, which technically does count as a crash. It's a collision crash. Or I have crashed into another car before where I have actually spun, like like I did like a whole complete spin before. That has happened to me before. Yeah, no, my PS4 does sound like an airplane right now because it's hot. So yeah, it sounds extremely loud. I'm used to it, but I'm still getting. I'm still like, you know, not used to like it being so loud, because like I'm used to it being so loud, but like I don't think about it. This PS4 is very old. Like it's I think almost 9 years old or more. So it sounds like a plane. But I guess because I need to clean out the fan on the inside, so the fan can breathe. The fan, God knows how dusty that fan on the inside of my PS4 is. So yeah, it sounds like an airplane. It really does. Yeah, so it really does sound like an airplane. So yeah, we're just gonna wait. And yeah, let's see. Are we doing a night race or a day race? Okay, so we're doing a night race, which is perfect. See, Gasly is going back out on track early. No, I'm not going out on track yet. Honestly, I haven't had any problems with my PS4, like when it comes to that. So I'm doing good so far. It's doing what it's doing. I try to dust it off as much as I can from the outside, but I haven't had like my PS4 shutting down on me because of overheating. So that hasn't been a problem. So yeah, so far I'm not really gonna touch anything on it or inside of it to avoid breaking it or anything like that. Maybe when I get a PS5, I'll take it to go get cleaned out so it doesn't sound like an airplane. But as of now, I'm gonna let it be until then. Okay, so there's about almost 4 minutes left in Q1, and then yeah, we're gonna head out to SQ2. This is the boring part. The boring part is the waiting, because the longer I wait, the more I get bored. So as soon as I see those cars head out, there's about 3 minutes and 40 something seconds I'm counting. As soon as I see more cars head out on track, I am going to head out as well. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear your dog ate up your controller. That sucks, bro. Yeah, some of the cars are going out on track now, so I'm gonna head out on track with them. so I can get my improvement lap. But here we go. Oh man. Alright, yeah, I have two controllers. I don't really use my second controller, but I do have two controllers. My first controller is kind of like, it works, but I feel like it has a little bit of a stick drift, because I was pounding that controller, probably a little bit smashed up, not like completely smashed up, but like damaged a little, because playing Call of Duty from between 2019 to 2022, if you played COD between those 2 years, you would know how it is and how bad your controller must be by then. So I had to get myself a new controller so I can play.
And that's just 30 seconds left in the session.
So as you guys can see, I'm not really improving on this improvement map, but I don't know why, but I'm gonna try my best to push it down. There's no improvement happening because I don't know why. And there, see, in that turn I hit the wall right at that exact moment, which cut down my Q3 really bad, or in this case, my Q2. And qualify is officially over, so I'm gonna head back around, and then the session will be over. So I'm gonna head right into the pits instead of going across the line. Yeah, there's no improvement, so I'm gonna head right back
Pitting
into the
this lap then.
pits.
Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
So yeah, that was it. No improvement. Yeah, no, that controller was definitely cooked for sure, but I don't use it anymore. I use my my new controller. This is the Saudi Arabia track. If you watch the start of the race, it's gonna tell you the name of the track, so you would know. Here. Alright, Q1 is finished. Time to head into Q2, guys. Q1, I did very well. I was at the top of the tables in Q1. So right now I'm gonna really put my foot down to get into Q, to get to the top of Q3. So let's head into Q2 right now. Right out on track we go as the first few cars. And then let's do this. Alright, my first lap, let's see how it goes.
They're on provisional pole. Okay, so their best lap time, 1:31.0. Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
So yeah, as you guys can see, my SU laps are not the best. Because as you guys can tell right now, I'm in P2. I need to fix my lap times, and yeah, very bad lap times. I did a push lap, and my push lap failed as well too. So what I'm gonna do is wait until the end of Q2 to really do a really solid lap and see if I can get P1 or hold on until SQ3 because I want to be at least in the top 2, because right now my teammate's ahead of me. I don't know by how much, but he's definitely ahead of me by like maybe 1 second or so.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Those are really 2 bad laps. So, yeah. Kind of messed up on those 2 laps, but that's okay. I tried. I'm gonna try to do a better improvement lap at the end so I can get to P1 or don't drop any further than P2 at the moment. So yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, so let's check in on my times. As right now, Max is, oh wow, the time is not even that much of a difference. He did a 131.013. I did a 131.096, and there's an 83 difference. Oh, okay, so it's not that bad. And he did that on 1 lap. Yeah. Okay. So his sector 1 is 134. I had a faster sector 1 than him. He has a 130. He has a 34.0. I have a 33.9. Second sector is very close. Our third sector is also very close, so the 83 is not that bad on a 1 lap, and I did 2 laps. Okay, I guess I have a lot of improvements to do for that last run before Q3 starts. So see you guys in about 5 minutes or so. And just before I go, just wanna reply to one comment. Yeah, no worries, man. You're gonna get introduced to the name of the track when I do the race start. It's gonna do the introduction of the track and what track we're at. So if you stay tuned for that, you're gonna find out the name of the track. No problem. I went out too late, guys. Let me turn off this. Yeah, I went out too late. So I guess I'm going straight into SQ2. SQ3. I went out too late. So I stopped in P2. But that's okay. Alright, let's do that real quick. Alright guys, let's head right into Q3. This is it. So wherever I fall, here is wherever I will be starting in the race. So hopefully I will be good for the race start. I'm praying that I get P1. I'm really doing, because like I said, this is not my best track, as you guys can really tell. I have lots of struggles on this track, but struggles that I have to fix and work out. So, see you guys in a bit.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining. Understood. Stopping this lap.
Man, session is not going where I want it to go. I am currently P3 right now, and if Q3 finishes and I drop any lower, that'd be really bad for me. Because currently I'm not on pole right now. My teammate's on provisional pole, and if I don't improve, I'm in a drop. Yeah, I'm on provisional pole right now. Lando's ahead of me by 300ths of a second, so it's a bit of a tricky one. And I know they're about to go back out in a few minutes, so I'm gonna head back out with them and see what I can do. If not, guys, I will redo the whole session. But I do not want it to come to that. That was a really, really bad 2 laps I had. Yeah, everybody's heading back out now. So I'm gonna head out as well. Alright, let's do this, guys.
"30 seconds left in the session." There you guys go. I'm in P3, guys, for the race. I didn't make it on pole, so it is what it is. I might really try my best at the race start to really get it, man. No, this only has the 2024 McLaren. It doesn't have the 2025. So, yeah.
Goodbye for now then, but we are really just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
So guys, I will be starting on the second sector of the track. Not the sector, the second part of the grid will be me and Charles Leclerc, and then in first place it's Max Land, and then me for the top 3. But I didn't make it on pole, guys, so we'll see how the race goes. In about a few minutes I will take a little breather and then start the race. That was something, man. That was something.
Wow. Like I said, I struggle on this track a lot, so the fact that I struggled to get on pole now, I was not surprised, but I really did struggle to, I really did push my hardest to get on pole. But it's a lot harder to get on pole around here for me. It's a struggle, alright. So with that being said, I'm gonna get right into it, man. I need to cool down a little bit and then get right onto it. So see you guys in a few minutes or so. Is gonna do the introduction on the track, and then also the introduction of the track, and also the is going to do I believe it's gonna do that, is pushing in for the formation lap. So while all that's happening, I will take a little break and get right back to it to start the race.
It's one of the fastest races in the entire calendar. It's Jeddah, it's the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and it's next. So let's take a look at a topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Henry, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Russell, Sainz, Albon, Tsunoda, Gasly, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Bottas, Sargent, and Zhou Guanyu. And now it's time to head down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me is Anthony Davidson. Now, those final hours before a race, did you have a routine?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. So as all the cars reform the grid, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers ensuring their planned strategies are all in place.
Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. Norris has just put in the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, mate, Lando ahead. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push. Okay, nice work. Really good job with that target, mate. We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time. Okay, mate, your lap times are all over the place right now. We've got to have consistency. Come on, we can do better than this. box this lap, push hard on the in-lap. Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach. Okay, forget the targets for now. We've got to focus on the pit stop.
Yeah, guys, that was a very difficult stint.
That was a fantastic
I tried my
stop,
best, guys.
Expecting.
So, hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the race, and see you guys at the end.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Max is in the pits. Max in the pits. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good. Okay, mate, we've got some clear track around us now, so let's use it and make this next lap a quick one. Let's go. And some information on Leclerc. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring. Okay, we've got to focus on the VSC Delta. Forget the old objective. Okay, caution, caution. Virtual safety car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive Delta on your dash. It looks like a virtual safety car's been deployed due to an incident with multiple vehicles being stopped on the track. We need you to drop your pace.
Sorry for that, guys. As you guys can see, there's a visual safety car out on this track. I'm not surprised there's a safety car. This is gonna hinder my race a little bit because I had a very fast pace going, or building up a fast pace. I have to drop pace to wait for the virtual safety car. Now it's ending, and then we'll be back up to full speed in a few
Virtual
minutes.
safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending.
There
Wait
it
for the
is.
greens.
Alright guys, so I'm gonna head back to racing and focus, and I'm gonna try to talk to you guys at the end of the race because I have to keep my pace up so I can actually win
Just so
this
you know,
race.
we're getting some strange readings from a couple of the sensors, so I don't think you need to be worried, just some bad data, so keep doing what you're doing. I'll let you know if we notice any genuine problems.
Yep. Alright, see you guys at the end of the race.
Okay, mate, tyres are currently running too hot. Please keep those tyre temps under control. Gap to your teammate behind, 2.2 seconds. Okay, some information on Piastri. They've got an issue with their car, they're going to be slow. Okay, that wasn't quite what we needed there, I'm afraid, but listen, not to worry, get your head down and chin up, and let's focus for the rest of this race. First position, front of the pack. That's Max behind you now. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, just 5 laps until the end. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 2.3 seconds. Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home.
Sorry guys for the little delay. I needed to give my finger a break because I was getting a cramp. So if I didn't, my finger was gonna cramp up. Yeah guys, I'm sorry about that. I'm back. My finger was cramping a little bit too much, so I had to like give my finger a little bit of a rest to ease up the cramp, because if not, this is gonna hurt me like hell after I finish this race in about a few minutes. The race is almost done. The second stint was easier than the first stint, man. The first stint of this race, I was under heavy pressure from my teammate and Lando Norris, and also trying to get past Lando, so it was a heavy stint. So happy the race is almost done, but I don't want to jinx it. but we're almost there. The finish line is right there. There we go. One more turn. Final turn, here we go. Across the finish line to win the second race of the 2024 F1 season. Here we go. Voila.
Yes, 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 guys!
There it
yes.
is, guys.
Come on, boys!
Oh, superb driving. That is the race win, my friend. Well done.
And that brings the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix to a close then, as we reflect on the team's impressive performance today.
And it's always good to get that momentum on your side, and it's really good for your confidence as well. The more confident you are, the further that can take you.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who's joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Yeah, guys, that was a tricky race, man. Very, very tricky. Very, very tricky, but did so well so far. As you guys can currently see, the driver's standing, I have 51 points, and then Max Verstappen, my teammate, has 37 points. There's only a 14-point difference. And then for Red Bull, we are, for the Constructor Championship, we are first Red Bull with 88 points. And there's, between McLaren, there's a 53 gap. The fact that Lando Norris came in P3 in this race, but he's P5 in the drivers' constructors, with George Russell with 23 points. Lando only has 15, but he did win the race. So he was on podium, so he got 15 points, and George Russell was P6. So, but for the race director, I don't know what happened. For a lot of it happened, and yes, guys, I went from a medium to a hard. So did my teammate. For incidents, I had a collision with Max Verstappen at the beginning of the race, as you guys will see in a second when I show you guys the highlights. And then obviously me and Max both got a warning for that collision. And then Ferrari, aka Charles Leclerc had a mechanic failure, so he DNF'd. And then yeah, so with that being said, let's go check out the highlights so you guys can see how stressful the first stint of this race was, and how the beginning of the opening lap was. Enjoy, guys. See you guys in a few seconds. Yeah, guys, so that was it. That was a hefty stint, guys. Whew. Good race, though. Yeah, so that's the race. That's the highlight for that race, and man, what a very challenging race. I am closer and closer to getting my ratings to 98. I got a little bit of awareness. It went up. My racecraft is definitely pushing up. It's getting close to 95. I'm almost at 99. Once the awareness gets all the way up to the top, where at the top at 99 is finished. Yeah, guys, and I'm still 51. I gotta push back and put in a little bit more work. But so far, Max is a 49. I'm a 51. I have a little bit more recognition than him at the moment. I have a little bit more focus than him by like 1 point, and then we both have the same rating, but I think his is a little bit more than mine. Not too sure. Did I lose points on any of these? No, I did not. I got all points on those ones, which is good. Yeah, I have to check on my driver stats to see how I'm really doing, because yeah, that was something, man. That was definitely a race. By the way, guys, the next race is going to be in Australia, so stay tuned to that. That race should be fun. I love Australia track. It's a really great track, very fast track as well too. It's another street track. But this is a street track that like I understand very well compared to Saudi Arabia, where it's still, even though I understand the track, it's still tricky. The Australian track I understand a lot more better, 100%. So, just gonna go through some really quick things really quick, and then yeah, I'm so close to beating my rival. I need to get to is it this one? Oh, here. I'm so close. For Max, I have 51 points. He has 37. Top 40 finishes 2 at the moment for both of us. Race results, I have won 2 races, he's won none at the moment. Quality results, P1. Highest qualified position is P1. The best finish is P1. His best finish is P2. We both have 1 for the best top qualifier, and for qualifier race results is 1, which is very good for us. Then for Leclerc, I have more experience than him, which is very shocking, because I'm a NPC compared to him. His ratings right now is at 88. I have a 91 experience. For racecraft, I have a 98. He has a 94. And for awareness, I have a 99. He has an 83. And for race pace, mine's at 100. His is at 95. And as you guys can see, I'm just one like stint away from 98. If I get to 98, I will beat our rivalry, as you guys can see right now. So with that being said, let's go back to my accolades. So for the race starts, as you guys can see, for race starts, I'm almost at tier 2, which is just 2 races away from finishing it. And then championship points, I can actually give you guys a calculated number to tell you how far I am away from championship points right now. So I will tell you exactly how far I am. So let's do this really quick. I am 403 championship points away from finishing tier 3. And then for top 10 finish, I am like a few away from there. I'll give it back because I'm 97 right now, 96 right now. So I'm only 4 top 10 finishes away. So that's like the next 4 races. If I get above top 10, I'll finish that off easy. And for top 5 quali, I am a 93. So that is, let's see, 7 races away from that at the moment. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next race. I'm not gonna deal with these until I'm ready to do like Australia, which I'm gonna take a break for a while before I do Australia, because there was a lot going on. But for R&D, I might do some R&D right now to give my car some upgrades, because going into some of these I'm not gonna get until probably like China, or is it China, I believe? Yeah, until Japan. I'm not gonna get some of these until Japan, but that's okay. That's not a problem. But with that being said, I will definitely see you guys in the next race. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and yeah, stay tuned for the next one, and I'll see you guys probably. The next stream is probably going to be most likely on a Monday, because tomorrow I'm very busy and I won't have the time or the energy to actually stream. So I'll see you guys then. With that being said, peace out, guys.